Top of the news tonight, heightened security at energy assets across Trinidad and Tobago following 5 massive oil spills which have left the country and state-owned Petrotrin counting its losses.
The National Security Council has been mandated by its chairman, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, to increase security around this country's widespread energy assets. The Prime Minister chaired a meeting of the National Security Council this afternoon, and following the meeting of the top brass of the security services in the country, it was determined that stricter security measures must be put in place at all energy installations, both on land and at sea. According to the Prime Minister's office, this means that accessing these assets will not be as easy as before. This after at least one company has asked the police to investigate the matter as an act of sabotage. Meantime, we are also in a position to say that the Prime Minister wants to get a first-hand look at the areas affected by the oil spills, and we understand a tour is being planned for tomorrow. Well, as you heard, confirmation tonight that at least one oil company involved in the oil spill is claiming sabotage.
Today, Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine revealed that Trinity Gas and Exploration has reported the matter to the police. This as a foreign company arrives to clean up the mess. Trinity Exploration only accounts for one of the 5 oil spills which occurred over the last week. And today the Minister of Energy revealed that the company is claiming it was sabotaged.
In my talking to representatives of that company, they indicated to me that they were of the view that that was sabotage at Rancho Quemado, that the valves that were open could have only been opened using a specialized type of wrench, or to the police with regard to that particular spill.
At today's post-cabinet news conference, the minister did not want to comment on the other 4 spills, only to say the government is determined to find out what caused the unprecedented spills to occur.
So at this point in time, it's very early still to say who is to blame. The government hasn't blamed anybody. I see that people are stepping forward and saying that they are not to blame. We have never said it was X or Y or Z. We have just said that we found it. I have said that we found it rather unusual that we have had 5 incidents in the space of 5 or 6 days, whereas in the last 3 years since I've been minister, we've not had 5 incidents at all.
Minister Ramnarine also announced the formation of a committee to oversee the cleanup efforts, led by Environment Minister Ganga Singh. He says further to that, Cabinet has requested a report on the security in place to protect this nation's energy assets.
The Cabinet recognizes the vital importance of the energy sector to the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, and we took note of the possible vulnerability of key assets throughout the country, not just oil assets, but natural gas, transmission and production assets, which are located like the oil assets throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
Foreign company Oil Spill Response Limited will begin cleanup operations tomorrow, and the minister says with their sophisticated equipment, the spill should be cleaned in 2 days. So far, 700 barrels of oil have been cleaned.
And staying with the oil spill, while fishermen along the Gulf are bracing for a bleak Christmas, there are others who are saying the massive oil spill along the southwestern peninsula might actually be a blessing in disguise.
That's because for the first time in years, residents from the areas in and around La Brea are being offered jobs. They are being hired by Petrotrin for cleanup operations. Camerawoman Crystal James and reporter Ria Rambly visited La Brea to bring you this story.
Once home to a healthy stock of fish, these waters now have very little to offer the people and wildlife of La Brea. A Christmas tree on Coffee Beach stood decorated with items that washed ashore in what many are calling the worst oil spill along the Gulf. It serves as a stark reminder that all is not well along the peninsula.
Remember, this is the time we make all money in the city to buy groceries for Christmas. And we're tired for everybody.
When CNC3's cameras visited Coffee Beach in La Brea on Monday morning, cleanup crews were working hard to contain the spill. Now behind me are what Petrotrin officials on the ground are describing as booms. They say that 2 have been placed there to keep the oil from coming onshore. Of course, the big yellow one is there for retentive purposes to keep the oil from leaving the shoreline as well as coming onto the shore, and a smaller one to absorb whatever substance is already on the shoreline. Workers say this was unlike anything they had ever experienced.
You could say this one is the biggest oil spill Trinidad ever have right now in the Gulf of Paria, you could say.
This 20-year-old from Labrie graduated as a certified oil spill responder last Wednesday. He's been working on the disaster ever since.
People wanted to do it. Everybody wanted jobs. The oil bring good, the oil bring bad.
Many residents refused Petrotrin's offer to evacuate the area. Wendell Thomas says the oil spill brought new opportunities.
The guys and them who from the back there who not working, or at least they get a chance to make $1 for the Christmas there, so they're really interfering with them.
CNC3 News understands Petrotrin began offering cleanup workers $200 per 12-hour shift, then increased it to $40 per hour.
Every shift with us have a big problem, who to hire and different lists, who making their own lists and who bring in and they want to fight. I think like last night they had a fight, not fight but they square up to fight.
Thomas says while outsiders have been accessing the jobs over Labrie residents for years, the spill is now a blessing to those who live here.
They bring a niceness to the corner, to Coffee Street, Queen Street, Coffee Street, Labrie. They bring a real niceness. It could be a bad in health, but I could bring a Christmas, a black Christmas.
Ria Rambly, CNC3.